when I was when I was younger, when I do something and I love doing it, and they'll be like, "Oh, you're so good at it. You should do that."
Do you take in any toxic anymore? Because now obviously you've แบบว่า you โตขึ้นแล้ว right? You've grown up and
you just want to cry right there.
Right.
But sometimes it can be a favorite mistakes, you know, like my song.
Okay.
You laugh right now.
Okay, so first things first. I remember, when the first time that we had a conversation at the Commons.
Yeah.
And then I remember you mentioned the fact that people say your name wrong.
Yeah.
Right? So what is the real pronunciation of your name?
My name is Violette Wautier.
Say that again?
Violette
Wautier.
Yeah.
And what is the meaning of Violet? Yeah.
It's a flower's name. It's violet basically, but it's in French.
Okay.
So it's the color and also it's the flower.
Okay. So what is a nickname your parents used to call you?
Vivi.
Vivi?
Yeah.
Okay. So but first of all, just like you could short answers, long answers is up to you. You prefer texting or talking?
Talking. Definitely talking.
Really?
Texting just takes too much time and I would always pimpit.
Yeah, me too. Always.
So yeah, it's better for me to just call.
Okay. Would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or would you rather be able to talk to animals?
Speak every language in the world.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Yeah, speak. Yeah, speak every language in the world.
Okay. What is your favorite day of the week?
Oh, I don't have any.
Okay.
I feel like my work schedule, it just like, it doesn't have a routine.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter.
Do you like it? Would you rather one day have a routine or are you the kind that can't stick with a routine?
I need a routine for life, but it doesn't have to be like 9 to 5, like that kind of routine, but I need a routine in life. Like in the morning, I need to go like do workout or something like that. Just to get like that balance in life and keep me grounded.
Okay.
That's, I think.
What is your, what do you do on your day off? Like if you had a day off, like what is a typical day off for you?
Lately, I don't know. I mean, I've been watching series.
Okay.
But lately, I just had a day off and I didn't know what to do at all because I've been constantly working. And even on my day off, I would write something. And now I just finished my album. So it just feels weird to me to like, okay, what do I do now? Like it's a little weird. Right now I'm like getting back to the day off.
Yeah, I understand. When you're like working every single day, like it's just exactly as you say, when you actually have the free time, you're like, okay, what do I do with my life now? It's like we're kind of like isolated ourselves from the real world a little bit because you're working so much.
It just happened yesterday actually when I was like, what do I do? Like, do I just watch films all day or
you go out, you go see someone.
Yeah, and you try to keep yourself busy without knowing.
Right.
So at the end, I was like, okay, Som, let's meet up.
Right, okay. And what were your favorite subjects at school?
School?
Yeah.
I think it was English.
Okay.
Because I was good at it.
Right. Was it like was English always like one of your main languages growing up?
No, actually English is my third language.
Okay.
So Thai is my first, French is the second, and then English the third one.
So you're more fluent in French than in English?
I don't know.
Okay.
I like to think that I am better at English because I don't know, feel like I have to think more when I speak in French now.
Right.
It used to be better, but it lost.
Yeah, well, it happens, right?
Much.
Yeah, if you don't use it, it kind of, even like English, if you don't use it for a lot, like it kind of like, you say something and your grammar goes like, what the fuck? Like, what did I say?
Or even word just doesn't come out of your mouth naturally.
Are you a morning person or an afternoon person more?
Morning person.
Really?
I like to think that, but lately I've been like afternoon person.
Okay, because I feel like you're more of like, if you could choose between being a logic person or a creative person, what do you think you are more?
I think I am a little bit of like I am both of it.
Okay.
Like I want to be creative, but sometimes I use a lot of logic as well.
Right. Yeah. Because of your experience, because you have to meet a lot of people with your work, would you say?
I don't know. Maybe it's that, but also I don't know. Maybe because my mom and my dad, they're like a very scientific person. And that's just like fall into the logic side.
Because your dad was in software. right?
Oh, you did a lot of homework to know that.
Of course. And your mom was a teacher,
yeah,
right?
a professor at the university.
At the university. So they're both like very logic people.
Yes.
But you work as more of
the creative side. Yes.
Okay. How many hours of sleep do you need to feel fresh?
6 to 8 hours.
Okay. Do you value your sleep, or you're the kind of person that I can go with 4 hours? You know what I mean?
I do really value my sleep because it affects my voice.
Right.
So I need like my enough sleep and my beauty sleep, because your skin is not going to take the makeup that well because you don't sleep enough.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You mean as in physically it doesn't take it in well?
It doesn't, because sometimes when you don't sleep enough, it feels like it's a little dry to your skin.
Okay.
And it just, at the beginning when you put on the makeup, it would look nice. But at the end of the day, sometimes it would push out the foundation. And it causes crab.
Like
crab, like foundation.
Like you can see it in the camera.
Sometimes when you don't sleep enough.
Okay. You prefer the sunset or sunrise?
Sunset all the way.
Really?
Sunrise is too early.
Okay. You burger or pizza?
Burger.
Cake or ice cream?
Ice cream.
What ice cream?
Depends. Sometimes vanilla, like the classic one, or yogurt, people yogurt.
Okay. What's your favorite number?
Number?
Yeah.
10.
Okay. Is there a reason behind that?
Because I was born on the 10th of
October.
Yes.
Okay. If you could visit anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Anywhere in the world, where would it be? I would love to go to Switzerland. I've never been to Switzerland before. And apparently it's very beautiful. So.
Do you have a quote where you live your life around, or something that has stuck with you, that has driven you forward, or just or you read somewhere, or from a song?
Actually, there's a quote. I remember I saw it when I was living in Canada from a book, and it says the worst mistakes one can ever make is to be afraid of making one. And it really stuck to me, and it's a good way to live by, because you don't need to be afraid to make mistakes because it's unavoidable. So it's gonna happen eventually. So why don't you just try it out and see if it works? Just hope it's not that as much as a big mistake. But sometimes it can be a favorite mistakes, my song.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's just the first part for now. We might do a little bit more. Yeah. So you were born in Japan.
Yes.
Right? You were born in Japan. What was why was your family? I'm going to ask you questions, and if anything, you don't feel comfortable with, we could just move to the next one, right? Okay. So what was the reason that your family was in Japan at the time?
Well, my parents, they were studying abroad, in Japan, and they met there, and they got married, and they accidentally had me.
Okay. So they married and they just stayed there, and so your family started in Japan?
Yes.
Okay. And you moved where next?
I moved back to Thailand.
Okay.
Yes.
And how old were you when you moved?
Around 2.
Okay.
And then I've been living in Thailand ever since. But I mean, for a year, I lived in Canada when I was 17 for an AFS program.
Okay. Whereabouts in Canada?
Not far from Montreal.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So that's your only abroad living since you were, and then you came back and then you went into July. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And what kind of childhood did you have? If you look back at it, was it a good childhood? Was it a stressful? Did you feel you have everything? What would you say your childhood was like?
I would say I had a pretty good childhood. I mean, every school breaks, I would go to France to see my family there. And I remember that I always miss Songkran, and I was jealous of all the my friends that they get to play Songkran, and I had no idea what Songkran is because I've never experienced it. So my mom kind of tricked me when we got back from France. I was like, oh, I'm so sad we don't get to play Songkran. She's like, it's still Songkran, you can play Songkran right now. And you're like, okay, cool. So what do we do? And she just put out the baby pool, you know, like the soup yang pool.
Yeah.
And me and my brother, we were just like, yay, so glad. And you know, our like neighbor friends just like walked by and we were like, do you want to come play Songkran with us? And they were just so confusing because it's not Songkran apparently.
Right.
But yeah.
It's like every kid's dream, right? We all do it like Lakratong. Like, did you ever like Lakratong in like a bathtub before?
I would always wear like Thai, like, you know, Thai outfit just to go Lakratong. So I think I had a pretty good childhood. I don't know. I feel like there's so many memories, like good memories for me.
Okay.
But
yeah. And your brother, you're very, very close to your brother, right? Like, what's the relationship there like till today, right? You guys go around everywhere, support one another. Like, every time I see your brother, basically, right? Yeah.
Really?
And in comments, I always see you with your brother.
Yeah. I mean, we do hang out a lot and because he's Nong Khana as well.
Oh, is he? Is
yeah.
he
so basically, our friends are like my friends are his friends and his friends are my friends too. So we just, you know, hang around with like the same group of people sometimes.
Right. And you guys are how many years different?
3 years.
3 years. Okay. So
ปีหนึ่งปีสี่
okay. So, and then came the big audition.
The Voice.
The big voice audition, which today 55 million views.
Ooh.
Biggest, most viewed The Voice audition.
It still is?
It still is.
Oh my god, I'm so cringing over like that video though.
Why though? But you did so well.
Yeah, everyone was like, you did so well. And in my head, I know I faked doing it well. Okay, let me explain why.
Okay.
Because during those times, I was only 19-ish, turning 20.
First year university.
Yes. No, second year actually.
Year.
Yeah. And I was still trying to find my voice and my accent, you know? And somehow I adopted that accent singing in English. And it just sounds so pretentious in a way. It's not even my real accent of singing.
So
it's just a trend during those times where like the indie artist sound, they would have like this kind of pronunciation to some of the words and you know, I would just try it out and I was loving that style and singing in there, and now I'm not faking that accent anymore. It just sounds like very cringe to me.
But like it worked.
It worked, yes. But
it got in, right?
But also like that video clip was really important for me because a lot of time you would be doing like a lot of work and you would forget why you started doing it. Right. And every time I go back to watch that clip, I would be like, I just did it because I love it. And I try to like remind myself not to remember and not to forget that we just do this because we love it. Right. And not because of the fame or money or anything. Right. Yeah.
But like at university, were you the kind that would always sing at the like events, at the stuff like that? Did you, at high school, did you sign up for the talent shows and all that kind of stuff?
A little bit, but not all the time. Like when I went to The Voice in the university, people were like, oh, she sings? Like they didn't know. And they let me sing after they know I was on The Voice. But at school, high school, yes, I sing a little bit for like Vishagan Day.
Okay. All right. And like, did you see this opportunity? Like I'm just thinking like, what was the drive to make you sign up for an audition that would be live on television? You know what I mean? Like what, like, did you see it as a good opportunity? Like, hey, this is a career path that I kind of want to go. And
I mean, I do know since I was a kid that I want to be an artist.
Okay.
Like it's not just like I want to be an artist. I knew I'm going to be an artist when I was
right. That's the right mindset, right? Like you know you're gonna.
I know I'm going to be a singer one day.
That's so cool because people that succeed come with that mindset. You know
really?
what I mean?
Okay.
I think so.
Because a lot of time it sounds so namansai.
Like arrogant.
Yeah.
But I think the arrogance is what it's just like like footballers, they would never admit that someone is better than them because they have that mindset that they're the best in the world.
Okay.
You know, so that's why they succeed. That's why they like. Cristiano Ronaldo is the most arrogant person you'll ever meet. But if he wasn't that arrogant, he wouldn't have made it that far, I feel. You know what I mean? He has an arrogance to not pass the ball, score the goal, and take all the credit. And that's why he's successful. You know, I'm not saying that you're the same, but that mindset.
But the mindset of like, I know I'm going to be an artist one day.
Right.
So actually, I tried other route before than The Voice, you know? when I was 14, there was like strawberry cheesecake, like a television show in Thailand, and they started opening for like another.
You auditioned for strawberry cheesecake?
I wanted to,
okay.
But then I got like ครูตัดผม and it got too short, and I took a photo, and I felt like, yeah, I look so ugly. I'm not gonna send that picture in.
okay.
But then I start. There's a แมวมอง saw me แมวมองภาษาอังกฤษ
a scout
scout saw me and they asked me to go like be an extra in a music video.
Okay.
And it's just like opened the world to me. Like it's like, what is this? This is what the shooting set looked like. Oh, it's so cool. I was 15, so
who was it? Can you share? Are you allowed to share?
Yeah, Sequent.
Oh, okay.
You can go look it up. I was still having like the short hair.
All right.
And yeah, I start like acting in a little bit of music video, and it was fun. But it didn't go nowhere until The Voice.
Okay.
And the reason I went to because I watch a lot of The Voice.
Right. The American, the US one. Yeah.
And then when I knew that they were gonna have like Thailand, the first season, it was too late for me. So I was like, okay, the second season I want to go. And I want to know if I was good enough, you know, for competing. Like you want to know if your skill is good enough to be like to be in the front, like,
right.
You know, to be the front runner of the show.
Yeah.
So you're just like, okay, let's try it out.
Okay, so you saw it as like a challenge to see like, how can I actually compete? Can I actually?
But yes, that too. But also like during those times, I was losing confidence in my singing as well because I felt like, okay, maybe I wasn't that good. So this is the mark where I feel like, okay, let's try it out to see if you're good enough.
Right. And after that, Universal Music Group is your current label at this time, and I'm just wondering, like, is Universal Music Group linked with the global Universal?
Yes,
right.
But right now it's like Universal Music Thailand, right?
Okay.
But it's from Universal Music Group, like the big umbrella around the world.
Okay,
it's the same one.
Okay, and you had your first Glitter and Smoke album.
Yes.
Right. It was again first on iTunes and Apple Music, 9 songs. Of them, 12 countries, top chart. Did you think that it was going to be that successful when you were making the songs?
No, I didn't think anything at all. I just thinking like I wanted to make like the best album I could during those times. And I just go ahead and did it without thinking like what's going to happen next, because obviously like English song in Thailand is there's a little like it's a small market.
Yeah.
So, but I just really want to do that, and I want to see if I could push it out of Thailand. So that's why I did it. But then COVID hit.
It hit us all, huh?
Yeah.
Right?
So I was like,
things were going well, huh?
What am I going to do? How am I going to go outside of the country?
Right. That must have been tough, huh? Like you've waited you wrote all these songs you've been recording, and just when it releases, it's like something just stops you.
But it stops everyone. So I think in a way, during those times, I get to relax a little bit. Because, you know, I've been working so hard, and during COVID for like the first month, it felt kind of in a way, it's like you get to relax.
Yeah.
I don't want to say like a little bit long, but like
I understand.
I understand a little bit,
because you were working so hard before that, right? So it was just.
But then afterward, you start being like,
what am I gonna do with my life, right? Yeah. And the Smoke song. Right, the Smoke song. Like I gotta ask you, the dance move. It wasn't choreographed, was it? Right, it just naturally came with what you felt with the song, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I remember, you know, at the Commons, like when we spoke, you just released your song at the time.
The song Smoke. Really?
The song Smoke. Yeah,
I don't remember it was that long.
Yeah, it was. And then I remember you telling me that like the meaning of the song was like, okay, I don't smoke, but I'll go out and I'll smoke with you, right? And it's
like I'll go outside with you, but not smoking.
Yeah, but not smoking. But I'll go outside with you because I
like you.
I like you, and I'm gonna
to potentially get a lung cancer, but like you know,
it'll be worth it, right? Yeah, and that song, it kind of like it put you on a. Would it be right for me to say that it kind of put you on a new level and opened up? Like,
I think that's to me, as how I see it, I think it's a phenomenon in a way as well, because it's an English song.
Yeah.
And it works in Thailand. Everyone know the song.
Right.
Not everyone, but like most of people. I like to think that way.
Yeah.
That a lot of people know the song. And it's not even Thai. And when I go to do a show and people would scream the lyrics back to me.
Yeah.
So basically I'm like, okay, this is special. Because it's not even a Thai song.
Like you talk a lot about, like, especially in your songs and how you talk a lot about like self-love, like being like respectful to yourself, and like, where did this come from? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like in a lot of your songs, like you're okay with breaking the normal like gender expectations. We're in a very conservative culture, like ผู้หญิงจะต้องแบบว่าต้องมีความอ้อมน้อม but you're like pretty confident in who you are, which is a good thing, by the way, which is something that is very, very good. But yeah, where did that come from, you think?
I think it comes from how my parents kind of raised me. My father, he's super like, I think he's do in a way, and he has a strong opinion on a lot of things, and he's I don't know what's the word, but like สุดโต่ง and my mom is also very expressive, and she would be like the like she's Thai, but she's not very traditional.
Right.
If you compare her to like all the people from her generation, you would be like, oh, she's แบบล้ำหน้ากับคนอื่นอยู่อะไรเงี้ย so that maybe because they really encouraged me to be myself, and it's funny because when I was younger, when I do something and I love doing it, and they'll be like, oh, you're so good at it, you should do that, and then I would do something else like, oh, you're so good at it, and then am I good at everything, or you're just being my parents? Like ไม่รู้แบบ they just support me in everything, so it's cool because it gives me confidence.
Right. And like, you're one of the not many people in Thailand who have like have the privilege to have your own concert, right? And also be able to tour like an actual world tour. Like, yeah, I'm a fan, by the way. I always like your
phones. I haven't done like the world tour yet.
Not world tour, but like, you go abroad.
We start now.
You went to Australia, right? You went to Australia. So in Thailand, outside of Thailand, what is the top 3 best places that you have performed?
Okay, I'm gonna separate Thailand from all the country I've been. Outside of Thailand, I haven't been playing that much. I've been playing at Laos, Australia, Singapore, Malaysia. Not
much, huh?
Taiwan. That's it.
That's a lot.
That's it. Taiwan. And soon, Japan.
Okay.
We're going for Summer Sonic this week.
Okay. Is that in Tokyo?
Yes, and Osaka.
Oh, okay.
So I think they're gonna be one of my favorite as well.
Okay.
I'm assuming, but I think I had like the best time in Australia.
Okay.
Malaysia as well. Yeah, all of them.
Okay,
so basically.
Yeah, and how does it feel when you're writing something in your own world? You're like putting your experience, you're getting the poem, you're getting the melody, and then you go on stage, everyone is like singing it back to you. Like,
it's the best feeling in the world. Especially when it's like one of the first time that you start playing it and people start to be able to sing it back to you.
Right.
You just want to cry there.
Right. I have goosebumps even listening to it right now, because I see clips of you, when as soon as it comes up and you could hear the whole crowd, I don't smoke when I go, and you could hear them all around, and it was just like that's such a cool like thing to do, like, because we as actors, we don't get that kind of experience, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you guys go on set and then but you still get to like experience that a little bit when you go in events, no?
A little bit, but it's not really something we created. You know what I mean? Like you made it, that song, and like, it's not like we're getting to watch the audience watch us act live, you know what I mean? So it's like an instant and
it's an instant chemistry, I don't know, like energy where you send it out, they send it back, and it just goes on until the show ends, and it's really special. Yeah.
When you're on stage, you can really sense the energy of the crowd, right? Are they feeling it? Are they sleepy? And you kind of have to like what do you mean, like shift your performance according to that crowd, right? Is that something you learned over the years?
Yes, and sometimes I can do it well and sometimes I don't.
Right.
Sometimes you push too hard for people to like, enjoy the song, and sometimes it's too much. It's overwhelming.
Right.
So sometimes you just need to leave a little space between them where they can, come forward and get to your song. So it just, you need to balance it out.
Right.
And I can do it not every day.
Right. Yeah. Sure. For sure. So, and then you have another album, right? Your Girl, right? So it's like constant, and Your Girl has more Thai songs in it, right?
It's a Thai album.
It's a Thai album. And then now is your latest song. You just released Dancing on a Graveyard and Favorite Mistake.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you like maybe like explain a little bit about Dancing on a Graveyard? I have the lyrics right here and I was going through each line of them. I just have like a couple questions, like, cause I really like these are words that you literally wrote, right?
Yes.
Before we go into the words, how do you write a song? Like, what kind of frame of mind do you have to be in? Do you have to like be alone? Do you like, what is your creative process?
I think I need to, like, my life cannot be that messy during those times. And I need to get my headspace into like, I'm start writing now. And, just start writing. Okay. And sometimes you need to force the creative to come out because it doesn't come out all the time.
Okay.
But it's still fun. If when it comes out, it's fun. Right. But when it doesn't, it's just like already.
It's like a writer's block.
But still, it's. I would always write something that I feel very intensely about, and or something that I feel so passionately about, and most of the times it's something that happens to me.
Okay.
So but Dancing on a Graveyard is something different for me because it's not my, it's not very, it's personal, but it's not my story.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not something that happened to you.
No, but I mean, I can relate myself to it, but I feel so strongly about it that I start writing about it.
So obviously you heard this story from someone else's experience and then you feel tightly because I'm not going to ask you.
This is like one of the most like the song that I feel like it's the hardest song for me to explain. Right. Without touching the subject.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. And what, like, if you could like sum it up, like, of course we don't want to. We need to get into like details or anything like that. But like, dancing on a graveyard is very ironic. Graveyard, dancing on the graveyard. Yeah. So to you, like, what is like, if you could phrase that into a sentence, what is the meaning of that song?
To me, it means like people who benefits or being happy on somebody else's like misfortune. Right. Or like sadness or it's like stomping on their bodies. So it's very disrespectful in a way.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. I think we all been through that someday, like one way or another. But I really like the writing, I must say, honestly. Like, this is my favorite line. Okay. Having a feast right where you buried me deep, party in a crime scene, I'm under your feet, baby, you're dancing on a graveyard. Right. I really like that song, that line.
Mine was kissing you is heaven, loving you is hell.
Kissing you is heaven, loving you is hell. That's your favorite line?
Yes.
Okay. ไม่ถามต่อแล้วกัน
No, but it's, I think it's a good picture to paint because like imagine like when you're in a very toxic relationship, when you're up close, it feels like it's nice, but when you kind of backed it up a little and see like the whole big picture, you see like what am I doing? Like, so sometimes like the kissing is like so up close and always like also like when you're in a toxic relationship and that person just gives you a little bit of goodness. It feels like heaven. It feels so good. But in overall, it's just that one tiny thing. But if you see at the big picture, most of the times it's bad. So that kiss, that's why it's so heavenly. you know.
I understand. I truly do. Like sometimes you have to step out a couple steps to be able to see it. But this is not only in like couples. This is like in life, like basically, right? Like do you take in any toxic anymore? Because now obviously you've โตขึ้นแล้ว right? You've grown up and
I try to avoid the toxicity. Even like yesterday something just happened to me and apparently internet is a very toxic place sometimes.
Yeah, it can be. But like some of it is really well like put into sentences from someone like, you know, and is that a hard thing to do to find the right words to match the melody? You know what I mean? Like it can't only sound right. You have to have the right words and you have to...
you need to, it needs to sound right in your head.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and only you could be the judge for that, right?
Yes.
And you start with writing the lyrics first, or does the melody come first?
It depends. Sometimes it can be like either way.
Okay.
Sometimes I would start writing as a rap, like a poem, and you start rapping it, and I like this kind of rhythm, and then you find a melody to it. Or sometimes it just comes together, or sometimes you just the melody first, and then you find the right word and put into the melodies.
Right.
Depends.
I see. And like you said, like sometimes it comes out, right? You have like, because I really like to like แบบชอบศึกษาแบบนักแบบคนแบบ I like artists, you know, like I love singers and stuff like that, and I'm really like curious, like some of them have to go on holiday and like really clear their heads to put them in like a creative mindset.
No, to me it's not holiday. To me, I need to get back home. Whatever it was going on in my life, I have to have like the life experience and live a little, and then I would come back home when everything settled down, and you can start processing what just happened, and then you start writing.
Okay. And that's when you're flowing. Like you said, you don't, if you feel tense, it's kind of like when you're so tired you can't work, you know what I mean? Is that the same kind of meaning?
Yeah, it is. Like when I got my heart broken, like the song I Do It Again, I start writing when I was still like my heart was still broken. I was like in tears writing. It's too much for me. I feel like I'm not in the right headspace. There's some potential there, but it's just you're not done with processing everything.
Right.
And the song just is not there yet.
Right.
And sometimes you just need to live it a little bit and come revisiting it, and the songs would finish itself.
Okay. And like I could see like from listening to what you're saying that you're really using your emotions, like putting it on paper. Is that like, because I remember I watched Ed Sheeran once, and he said that like when he writes song, it's the same feeling when you're really angry. You get in the car and you just spit out everything that's on your mind, and then you feel a bit better. You know, it's like therapeutic in a way. Like,มันทำให้มันแบบ heal เราป่ะ? Does it feel good to like bring it out sometimes?
Yes. It depends on the song though, and that's why there's like angry songs in my album where I express my anger, because you don't want to be the person where you put the angers out in like to the world, to other person, but when it's in the song, I think it's past.
Right. Okay. So you could get over it basically, right? And then now everyone can listen to your full album, and it's called Call Me Dramatic. Okay. Okay.
You laughing now?
Yeah. No. It's cool. I really like it. Yeah. Okay.
But I feel like this album, EP album-ish, is a very experimental project for me, because I did it in like 2 months and a half. I need to write the whole thing. So,
okay.
Yeah, and that too. And I feel like I didn't have that much time to process it. So I didn't have time to think if it's going to be like, cohesive or not, or like what is the big idea to it. Like but I mean I do have a big idea, but like is it going to be like one big story or like one big message to the album? And it's not to me.
Okay.
It's about being dramatic in every sense of way. So that's why it's so different every song.
Right. Okay.
And there's a theme to it for me.
Okay.
I like, because last year when I had my concert, right? I was saying on stage that I feel like songs are like soundtrack to life. You know, you remember things with songs. Sometimes you would go on a trip and this song has become like the song of the trip.
Right.
Or sometimes you would hide this person in the song. Like, you know, it suits you in your many moments when you're in love, you would listen to this kind of song,
Right.
like, you know.
Yeah.
So it's soundtrack of life.
Right.
So I feel like, oh, maybe that's a good idea. Since I study in films, let's make a soundtrack of life. So that's why I was like, okay, then the movie kind of theme is not a bad idea. Let's see. If we make one song, one genre of movie, what would it be like? Dancing on a graveyard, thriller, suspense, mysterious.
Okay.
Favorite mistake. This is a mistake to me because it wasn't supposed to be it wasn't supposed to happen, but I went into the studio and I wanted to write another song, but then we started making a beat and I was like, okay, this is good, but I don't think that suits what I want. So let's try it, write something new. Let's do it for fun. And then we start doing it. Okay. Maybe favorite. I want to be your favorite. And then, I want to be your favorite mistake. Oh,
Okay.
now, and then
This is in the studio.
Yeah, and then it becomes like the mistake of the album as well.
Right. And I think like your album, like every album, like would it be right saying that it kind of represents who you are in your life at that time?
Yes.
And like do you ever feel the need to like I want to make it for the younger generation, the new 17, 18-year-old, or are you like strictly like you want your career to like grow old with
I've
you?
never
You know
think of it that way.
Okay.
But I mean, like for your girl, let's say your girl, I feel like during those times I was learning to finally love myself as who I am with all the flaws that I am. So that's like important for young girls to know about that too. And I mean, that's not behind my head when I was writing it. I wrote it for me. But at the end, I feel like the message is for everyone and for the young girls out there to know their word. And if they still don't know their word, they're going to keep doing the same mistake where they just fall for the wrong ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And stay for too long and it hurts them. And for this album, Call Me Dramatic, I think I'm embracing all my emotions, like even the goods and the bad sides, and you know, just go for it. There's anger song in it, like the song called Better Not Call Me Now is like so angry. Or like, you know, the hurting part, but also you can see how like the song Best Friend is I think it's a sad song to the album as well. But in a understanding way, it's more in a compromising way. And yeah, I think this album it's a comedy, it's funny kind of album because you're just really expressing all the emotions you are without like having filters, and if you are angry, you just go for it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. V, it's been a pleasure.
Yay.
I really, really admire you, to be completely honest. Like I've seen, like I said earlier, I feel invested in your career, and I've seen you come in and, you know, and then you've done it your own way. And I know how difficult it can be at times, you know, because like I said, like we're in an industry where people are always trying to change who we are. But then like something I really respect about your career is that you stamped your ground. You knew what you did, and then you ended up succeeding in your own way. And I think that's something that would be truly inspirational for younger kids. And the girls, they love you, you know, like the younger girls, they love you, like really.
And I do want to be an inspiration to them where, you know, I'm following my dreams and they can do that the same. It doesn't have to be like music, you know, whatever that they can see how hard it is for me. And, you know, it's going to be hard for them too. But at least if I can do my thing, they can do their thing too.
Yeah, definitely. So I really love it. And yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you so much. Like I was really nervous. Like พูดยังไงวะเนี่ยขายรายการยังไงวะเนี่ยคนก็ยังไม่ค่อยดู and then you're like, okay, yes, I'll be on, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best. And I know there's going to be more songs. You're always part of the coolest projects, work with the coolest people, like your movie. I sometimes I want to be in those movies. I want to be projects like that, you know. But yeah, thank you so much. Best of luck. And yeah, tell Kao that I hope one day like we could reunite
เนี่ยเดี๋ยวนัดให้
ให้ at first ก็บอกว่าก็เกือบจะ text ไปแล้วเกือบจะบอกว่าแบบมันวันนี้วีมาแล้วก็มานั่งกินข้าวมานั่งเล่นกันที่บ้านก็ได้นะ
He's at Phang-nga right now
okay wonder what he's doing there
retrospect ไง he went singing
okay all right okay thank you so much นะครับก็อย่าลืมติดตามนะครับDancing on a Graveyard
like Call Me Dramatic the whole thing
the whole album นะครับsorry Call Me Dramatic นะครับผมผ่านช่องทางต่างๆของน้องวีด้วยนะครับแล้วก็ฝากรายการ Talk to Talk นะครับผมกดไลค์กดแชร์กด subscribe นะครับ and thank you so much hopefully one day you could come back and we could chill
and we can after Summer Sonic that would be like a lot to talk about
sure yeah if you ever need a platform we are here with open arms yeah